Just outside of just outside of Scott and Muscatine counties, right there on that line, you can see that hail size tracker. That's where we're seeing those reports coming in of some golf ball sized hail. So that's actually going to continue to push off to the east. So Stockton, Walcott, be on guard. A similar situation happening over the Quad Cities, just in the northern part of Davenport, where you can also see that green in this hail size tracker. That's also picking up some pretty big hail as well. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye out on this. This line is starting to become a little more defined, and so once we get this line to really connect, we'll probably start to see some gusty winds be thrown out of this line as well. So that's something we're going to continue to keep a close eye out on. So be sure you are in your safe place if you are in the immediate Quad Cities. You definitely want to take shelter and stay there for at least the next 40 minutes as this line will slowly but surely make itself off to the south and east, and we'll continue to track it. So let's throw a tracker on here for those who are just in the southeastern part of the Quad Cities. So Kelowna, you'll see this storm kind of push in the next 5 minutes. Geneseo, 15 minutes. So be on guard for those hometowns as we will continue to keep this storm moving along. We are still seeing quite a lot of energy around the area. We had quite a big warm up this afternoon as we waited for these storms to develop. So that's that storm energy still right now at 9:18 p.m. That is a lot of energy that's going to continue to contribute to some of these storms that we'll track through as we head into the rest of your late evening hours. But we've kind of seen from Sterling to Erie through the Quad Cities to Wilton. That's where we are starting to see that line begin to develop and kind of connect with each other. So we might see some gusty winds. That's going to be a concern too. Let's take a look at that velocity signature again, because we are starting to see a little bit more of a definition out there with that velocity. And we could start to see a little bit more of a concern with any of those funnel cloud reports. So again, if you're just now joining us, we are tracking in a severe thunderstorm warning, as well as a concern of a possible tornado with this system that is moving through the immediate Quad Cities right now. Be sure you are in your safe place. Of course, basements, the most interior room of your home, going to be the safest bet for you. Again, hail is also going to be a big concern within this system. We've already seen reports of about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, maybe even nearing 2 inches for parts that are just outside of Muscatine County, and that's going to push into Walcott very, very soon. That is going to continue for the area as we head into the next 40 minutes or so. So Quad Cities, be on guard as we head into the next hour. So let's throw on that rotation, see if we can kind of find this rotation a little bit more and drown out a little more of that noise. Okay, there it is. So we are seeing a little more rotation out near Durant, Walcott area, Bluegrass as well. Not really seeing much in the immediate Quad Cities, but I know we have a concern as a report of a trained spotter out there has seen a lowering funnel cloud, and we'll continue to keep a very close eye out on that. Right now, that's really the only storm activity that we are concerned about that is crossing through the immediate Quad Cities and will make its way off to the south and east. So Geneseo, definitely be on guard here soon. Other than that, most of the activity is remaining far off to our south. That's where we're seeing most of the tornado activity remain, and that's where we're going to continue to keep that concern. Right now, we're not seeing any more reports from the tornado threat, but I think the winds definitely pushing through could be very gusty. So yes, we are seeing kind of that darker red that's pushing through the immediate Quad Cities. There could definitely be some wind reports getting up to around 60 miles per hour. So very, very gusty. We're already getting a lot of frequent lightning within this system as well. And we'll throw that lightning up. You can see it's very, very, very frequent, and that will continue. And we also have this other storm that's kind of connected behind it, moving just to the east of Durant, pushing into Walcott, and just to the north of Bluegrass. So that warning is going to continue until 9:30 p.m. and the warning that is going through the immediate Quad Cities right now, that will continue until 10 p.m. It's starting to push into Kelowna Geneseo going to be the next one in line to see these storms begin to progress through. Also hearing a lot of heavy downpours, so heavy rainfall also going to be a threat with this line as it makes its progression off to the south and east. So we'll continue to keep a very close eye out on this. We're still not seeing any new reports from that possible funnel cloud that was brought into the reports. So we'll continue to keep a close eye out on that. Not seeing anything on debris. Again, that's just a lot of heavy rainfall, lightning. And again, let's take a look at hail size. Starting to see that kind of weaken here in the Quad Cities, so that's good. Maybe starting to step down more of around an inch of hail, but still pretty strong core out near Walcott and Bluegrass. Continue to keep a very close eye out on that threat as it continues to push into the area. So we'll continue to keep a pretty close eye out on this. We'll give you updates as we learn them. We'll take you back to regular programming, and as we do continue to track these storms, we'll bring you those updates and we'll break in as we are needed.
Andor 3-episode premiere streaming Wednesday.
What's the #1 retinol